What if I told you the reason you don't love yourself isn't your fault, but it's still your responsibility to fix? Society's been lying to you, your parents might have dropped the ball, and your own mind's been holding you hostage, ready to break free? Today we're diving into something raw, real, and maybe a little uncomfortable. Can you love yourself again? I'm not here to sell you fluffy affirmations or tell you to stare in a mirror and fake it. We're going deep unpacking why so many of us feel disconnected from ourselves, why society and even our upbringing keep us stuck, and, most importantly, how to start clawing your way back to self-love. Here's the deal. By the end of this video, you'll understand why you've been hitting the snooze button on your dreams and how to stop letting other people's expectations define your worth. Stick with me, because there's a simple trick at the end that could change everything. Let's get into it. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. Do you really like who you are? Or are you just going through the motions, telling yourself and everyone else, "Yeah, I'm fine"? Because an awful lot of us aren't fine. Not really. Most of us don't love ourselves because we've been taught we're not enough. Sound familiar? Maybe your parents didn't cheer loud enough when you brought home that B+ in math. Or maybe society's screaming you need six-pack abs, a corner office, or 10K Instagram followers to matter. According to Mel Robbins, 1 in 3 Americans, 100 million people, are dissatisfied with their lives. That's a third of a nation feeling like they're failing at being themselves. But I think that the root of this often goes back to childhood. Our parents, the school, society, friends weren't perfect. If they didn't make us feel seen, heard, or unconditionally loved, we internalized it. We thought, I must not be enough. And we react. Some rebel, some become desperate people pleasers, contorting themselves to fit what they think their parents want. Others try to become invisible, to not cause any trouble, to not be seen. Some strive to be number one in everything, convinced that if they just achieve enough, they'll finally earn that elusive approval. This imprint is powerful. It's like an operating system running in the background of our lives, influencing every decision, every relationship, especially our relationship with ourselves. We're told, just be confident, love yourself, as if it's a switch you can flip. But if it were that easy, wouldn't we all be walking around blissfully content? Ask yourself, what's the voice in your head saying? You're not pretty enough? Not successful enough? That's not your voice. That's your parents, your teachers, or some glossy magazine talking. And the kicker? We believe it because we've been conditioned to seek approval from others before ourselves. Let's talk about the trap. Society's built this hamster wheel where we chase beauty, money, or status to feel worthy. Women get Botox, men hit the gym for that turtle abs look, and we all grind for a job title that screams, I'm somebody. We see it everywhere. The pressure to have the perfect body, the perfect career, the perfect life. So what do? We chase these external ghosts. Women in particular, but men too, increasingly subject themselves to surgical procedures, agonizing diets, endless workouts, not always for health, but to fit a mold. Or it's the career ladder. If I just get that promotion, that title, that income, then I'll be worth something. Then I'll be a winner. But a winner against whom? Is life a constant battle we have to win? This isn't self-love. It's a desperate bid for external validation. Here's the cynical bit. Society doesn't care if you love yourself. It profits when you don't. Think about it. Cosmetic companies, diet fads, even career hustle culture. They thrive on your insecurity. And we fall for it because we're wired for approval. As kids, we needed our parents' nod to survive. Now we're grown, but we're still begging for likes, promotions, or a "you look great" from strangers. But let me ask you, when was the last time you did something just because you wanted to? Not to impress your boss, your friends, or your mom. Just you. If you can't remember, that's a sign you're living for someone else's script. We all have an inner snooze button. Every time you get an idea, start that business, go for a run, tell someone you love them, your brain hits the emergency brakes. Scientists call it activation energy, the force needed to break your autopilot routine. Picture this: you're cozy in bed, alarm blaring. You know getting up early could kickstart your day, but you hit snooze. Why? Because change feels like a cold shower. Your brain loves comfort, even if it's killing your dreams. I used to do this with my own projects. I'd get a spark for an idea to do something for my own life, but 5 seconds later, my brain would whisper, "You're not good enough. Stick to what's safe." And I'd listen. Here's the truth. You'll never feel like doing the hard stuff. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for a unicorn to knock on your door. You've got to force yourself. It's like parenting your own damn self, making yourself do the things you don't want to do to become who you want to be. So, how do we break free? It starts with courage. The courage to turn inwards and dismantle these deeply ingrained patterns. This is where it gets uncomfortable. We have to look at the influence of our parents, school, society, or any other authority in our childhood to understand the source code of our self-perception. There's a controversial idea, even in psychoanalysis, reflected in some spiritual texts. Who does not hate his father and mother or cannot be my disciple? Now, hate is a strong word, but critically examine, deconstruct, distance yourself from their mental framework is more accurate. It means if you don't break free from ingrained mentalities, expectations of authorities of your childhood, you remain tethered, unable to find your own true self. You don't need a string of titles after your name or a certain bank balance to prove you're a person of value. Your worth is inherent. It's not earned through external validation. So, how do you actually change? This is where that activation energy from Mel Robbins comes in. You will never feel like it. Your brain loves autopilot. Anything new, anything different, and it slams on the emergency brake. You have to force yourself gently but firmly, like a good parent would. Try this. The 5-second rule. When you have an impulse to do something that aligns with your deeper values, something that breaks an old pattern, act on it within 5 seconds. Don't overthink. Just move. Want to speak up in a meeting but fear holds you back? Count for 5 seconds, then speak. Want to skip the junk food and choose something healthy? Count for 5 seconds, then do it. Why does this work? Your brain's wired to kill good ideas in 5 seconds flat. It's like a self-defense mechanism against change. Counting backward interrupts that emergency brake and tricks your brain into action. I tried this when I changed work last year. I was terrified. But every time I felt that urge to try something new, I'd count and go. Try it. Right now, think of one small thing you've been avoiding. Maybe it's looking in the mirror and saying, "I'm enough." Count down and do it. It feels dumb at first, but it's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. These aren't magic bullets, but they are tiny, conscious acts of rebellion against your old programming. They are the first steps out of the rut, towards a life driven by your choices, not by old conditioning or fear. So, can you love yourself again? Or perhaps for the first time? Yes. But it's not about adding more layers of achievement or perfection. It's about peeling back the layers of conditioning, of parental echoes, of societal pressures, to uncover the authentic self that's been buried. Loving yourself again isn't a destination, it's a daily fight. It's saying no to society's bullshits, forgiving the people who made you feel small, and forcing yourself to act even when you're scared. You're 1 in 8 billion people. The world doesn't need another cookie-cutter success story. It needs you, flaws, quirks, and all. If this hit home, drop a comment below. What's one thing you're going to do today to start loving yourself? I read every single one. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like. And if you want more content, consider subscribing to the channel. Let's support each other in this. Thank you for being here. Until next time, be kind to yourselves. It's a revolutionary act.